Have you ever heard the forest whisper at midnight? Not the rustle of leaves in the wind, not the crack of dry twigs beneath a prowling beast. A true whisper, quiet, almost inaudible, but sharp as ice in your soul, carrying the chill of an ancient curse. Dr. Alex Morgan first heard it 3 weeks ago, when his shovel struck something solid in an abandoned Oregon forest. A stone. No, an obelisk. Ancient and buried, covered in runes no archaeology textbook recognized. When Morgan touched the symbols with his bare hand, they flared with a greenish light, cold, unnatural, like woven moonlight and swamp gas. In that moment, the forest fell deathly silent. Even the wind stopped rustling leaves. "You shouldn't have done that," came a voice behind him. Morgan turned to see an old ranger standing at the clearing's edge, hesitating to come closer, his pale face avoiding the glowing runes. "What is it?" the archaeologist asked, wiping dirt from the ancient symbols. "That should have stayed buried." The ranger shook his head. "They don't forgive disturbances, especially under a new moon." "Who are they?" Morgan asked. But the old man was already walking away, muttering under his breath. Morgan caught the last few words. "When dark was light, and light became the curse. Do you believe in ancient curses?" Morgan didn't, at least not yet. Not until the night he brought photos of the runes back to his office and began translating them under the glow of a desk lamp. The old texts told a story too wild to be true. Thousands of years ago, when forests blanketed most of the continent, elves lived within. Not the sweet fairy tale creatures, but true guardians of nature, ancient and wise beings. They kept the balance between worlds and shielded humans from the encroaching darkness. But humans betrayed them. Settlers chopped sacred groves, drained hidden lakes, hunted for sport. When the elves tried to stop them, humans called them demons, then drove these guardians deep into the forest's heart with iron blades and fire. There in exile, the elves' hearts blackened with hatred. "Iron cuts flesh, but betrayal cuts the soul," read an ancient elven saying. Morgan translated it from one of the stones. The dark elves became the demons humans feared, but demons with a mission, to restore the old order by wiping out mankind. They possessed powers far beyond human understanding. Immortality and centuries-long patience. Their bodies could heal any wound, except those caused by iron. They could control plants and animals, bend minds with illusions, and read thoughts. Their speed and grace made them perfect hunters, but they had weaknesses. Iron caused unbearable pain, and consecrated ground barred them. Far from the forest, their strength faded, and revenge made them predictable. Morgan learned all this far too late. The new moon rose on a Friday night. Working late, Morgan heard scratching at his second-floor window. He looked outside. A branch moved on its own, drawing runes into the foggy glass. Morgan grabbed an iron letter opener and ran outside. The forest greeted him with dead silence. Even his footsteps sounded muted, as if the darkness between the trees swallowed all noise. "You disturbed our slumber, mortal," said a voice everywhere and nowhere. Melodic, beautiful, like the whisper of dying leaves. One by one, the elves stepped out of the shadows. Tall, graceful figures with moonlight skin, terrifying in their predator's beauty. Their eyes were black voids, reflecting only stars from dead skies. Their teeth glinted sharply in the dark. Their leader stepped forward, moving like fog taking shape. "Now you will be part of our hunt forever." Morgan ran. The forest came alive. Roots tore from the ground, grabbing at his feet. Branches lashed at his face. The path shifted, vanished, and returned, leading him in circles. The elves didn't rush, they were playing with him. Their laughter echoed through the trees, a sound that freezes blood. Morgan swung the iron blade. The elves hissed, pulling back in pain. But more came, closing in, forming a tightening circle. "Can you hear it?" the leader mocked. "The forest is calling to you. Soon you'll be part of it. Your bones will feed its roots. Your soul will join our hunt." Ahead, a light flickered. The old church at the forest's edge. Morgan remembered it from the map and sprinted toward it. The elves stopped at the border of consecrated ground. their faces twisted in rage but unable to cross. "You think you're safe?" The dark elf leader raised his hand. Green light filled the air. "You took our runes, mortal. Now you are our guide into the human world. Every new moon, you will call to us, whether you want to or not." Ancient words in a forgotten tongue echoed through the trees. Morgan felt something cold seep into his veins, bones, and soul. He woke at dawn. The elves were gone. Only scorched grass remained at the forest's edge. A month passed. Morgan tried to live normally, but every night he heard the forest's call, a soft whisper drawing him back. The runes appeared on his hands, glowing green in the dark. When the next new moon came, Morgan couldn't resist. His feet carried him back to the woods. In his hand, he held a list of names, the names of those who dared disturb sacred places. When the last elf forgets forgiveness, the world will know true horror, says the legend. They say evil isn't born, it's made. But what happens when evil gains a will of its own? Can we blame the darkness for wanting to swallow the light? If we were the ones who snuffed out its final spark of hope, somewhere in Oregon's forests, the ancient obelisk still stands. The locals avoid it, knowing some secrets are better left buried. But there's always someone who won't listen, someone who hears the forest call on a new moon. And the elves will be waiting.